Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today, as always, as promised, as it should be, I bring you Fairy Tales chapter 473 of its name, Red Lightning. The chapter takes off right after the end of the last chapter, which was with Laxus' heart attack, preceded by Vol beating the absolutely living hell out of him. He goes on checking Laxus' vitals, and he sends missiles and lasers. He's hell-bent on beating Laxus to a pulp. And he nearly succeeds. Would it not have been for a mistake he made of actually firing a railgun at him, which he actually fired lightning. And yeah, Laxus is just a lightning dragon slayer, so it was an actual power up for him. So GG Vol, good move on your part. And he realizes his mistake, but not long after he's already getting his face punched in by Laxus. Sorry for the page doesn't move on. Still, he says that it doesn't bother me if he can kick me or punch me. Lightning has no effect on me, which is immune against lightning in this form because he studied Laxus, and so he's immune to lightning. It's a pretty OP power if well used, if you think about it. Imagine if he fought against Natsu. His immunity would be fire and maybe his magic would be water. It would be interesting to see what would be his strength against Gadgil then, because it's iron. Water corrodes iron. I don't know, maybe. It's a pretty cool magic if you think about it. The ability to transform and gain the powers that are both your enemy's weakness and strength in order to become your strength. And so you become immune to your opponent's magic, and you counterattack him with his weakness. It's a pretty OP magic, but still, as we'll see by the end of this chapter, it's not nearly enough. The fight continues, Laxus dodges the bullets, and as I said last chapter, I thought that he was being cocky and presumptuous in thinking that he could beat Laxus in under 90 seconds, and as said by the own system failure, planned extermination time limit exceeded. So this might be the only weakness, or at least the most apparent weakness, of Vol's magic. It's actually time. Because it doesn't show as being much of an handicap. He didn't fail, or he didn't de-transform from his current form. So it might not actually be a weakness. I'm just assuming it is a weakness. But it would be a kind of good balance. He set a time limit, he didn't fulfill the time limit, therefore he should have consequences for such. But he doesn't even have time to show consequences of that mistake. Laxus keeps suffering the effects of the anti-magic particles as it should be expected. Now, Vol keeps speaking about the fact that Laxus can't even move with the magic barrier particles. And he's sure of his defeat. As always, bad guys are always sure of their victories until the last second, so. Another thing, he actually tries to fire an Etherean barrier, an Etherean gun. I just don't know where he could have gotten that, because last time I checked, and last time I remember, Etherean was only in the hands of the Magic Council? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I mean, sometimes bits and pieces from Fairy Tales lore just escape my mind. But I guess that Etherean was like that big ass weapon that the council had, and they used it to exterminate the Tower of Heaven, wasn't it? And then Laxus, oh my god, I just keep shipping them together. And Natsu actually consumed or he consumed a little bit of Ethereum and gained that super duper mega power that helped him defeat Jalal back then. So it's kind of awesome to see a bad guy with a piece of Ethereum. Once again, sorry, I probably made a mistake in the middle of all of this. It's just Ethereum is one of those things that in fairy tales is mentioned just very sporadically, and it kind of missing some points sometimes, so if I made a mistake, I'm sorry about it. And Laxus goes into a self-pity moment where he's like rebranding himself. I came all this way just to protect the guild and I can't even defeat this guy in front of me. And then the funny part of this chapter. I actually didn't understand quite well how he could activate this magic barrier. I mean, in Fairy Tail, mages only have a type of magic. Like Laxus has the Lightning Dragon Slayer magic, Freed has the Rune magic, Natsu the Fire Dragon Slayer, Lucy the Celestial Mage. It's never shown of a mage to perform a spell of a different branch of magic, so to say. It's not like Harry Potter, where you can have different spells and you can have 1,000 people doing the same spells. In Fairy Tail, each mage is specialized in that particular magic. So Laxus says it was a gift from Freed. And that got me thinking, was something that Freed actually wrote on him that gives him the ability to use that and that only rune, which is in fact this one, which appears to be a magic barrier particle nullifier. But here's the thing that got my mind thinking and I didn't quite understand at the time. Was Vol the one that deactivated the rune? Because the speech bubble doesn't quite give it away who was. It was a scream, so someone shouted it. When they say magic barrier particle nullifier, it could either be Laxus just saying what the actual rune was, or it could have been Vol, because Vol says that magic runes and barriers don't work against him. So that got me thinking that he can actually annihilate them, nullify their power. And the power of this rune was to eradicate any anti-magic particles within the area, which includes, of course, the particles inside of Laxus. And as Laxus says, no one is able to break through Freed's runes, but Vol can. And so that's how Vol became the savior of Laxus. In other words, Vol just messed up. He got rid of Freed's rune, but the effect of the rune actually played out, which was nullifying the magic barrier particles within Laxus. That's my guess in the middle of all of this. I gotta say, it's a little bit of a confusing scene. First time I read it, I was like, I gotta read through this again, and I've been thinking throughout the day, and this is the conclusion I've reached. Freed might have written that rune within Laxus, or gave him the knowledge to do so. Laxus used it, and by breaking that rune, the effect of the rune actually played out. And that's now how Laxus is able to stand out and give Vol the beating of his lifetime, which commences by himself getting a bunch of errors like a robot would do if his functions were to go haywire. And Laxus even jokes about it. I don't really like to bare my fangs against the guy who just saved me. Yeah, like, he didn't nearly kill you. But he did the number on his family and so he's gotta die. Vol still thinks he has a chance. And then Laxus actually activates the name of the chapter, finally like 3 pages away from the ending, which is the Red Lightning, which we get absolutely no idea what it is. Good job, Hiro Mashima, good job on your part. And the good thing is, Vol can't actually analyze this lightning. So it is some pretty special stuff, so much that he can't even analyze it. And then we get a flashback from back at the Magic Festival Games, when they went to the spa. Was it the spa? No, it was not the spa. It was like an amusement park. You remember that scene. And then we have Laxus actually speaking with the first. With... what's her name? I forgot. Mavis, that's it, Mavis. I forgot the name of the first Fairy Tail Guildmaster. And she tells him about his grandfather, Yuri Dreyar. And how he cared about his family, how Laxus reminded her of him, even though Laxus says, I'm not actually anything like my grandfather, but if you say so, you say so, you're the first Guildmaster, you know everything. But it is actually kind of similar, at least in the way that Laxus now, even after that incident when he went crazy on Fairy Tail and wanted to destroy them all and be the new Guildmaster, he repented. He came back stronger than ever, with his resolve on the right place, and that's what makes Laxus the man he is today. And I don't know how he learned this technique, it's not actually clear. If it was Mavis that taught him that, if he learned it by himself during the time that span between the Magic Festival Games, the Tartarus Arc, and then the 1 year time break that Fairy Tail took. But Laxus unleashed his new technique, Mercury Fulminate Thunder God, and he absolutely destroys Vol. Another new thing I'm noticing, that's the plus of reading the chapter on a bigger screen. The first time I read it was on my cell phone. He actually has an after image of, I'm gonna say, his grandfather. It's Yuri probably, it's not noticeable enough, but it's probably Yuri since it was his magic. And the chapter ends on good fashion with the bad guy falling to his defeat. Not dead, I guess, but to his defeat, lightning which surpasses lightning itself. And from parent to child, and from that child to the next, which means from Yuri to Makarov, and from Makarov to Laxus. It is not said, it isn't said that the Laxus father, I really don't remember, Ivan Dreyar, it's Laxus father's name. It's not said that Ivan had this power. He might not, because he was kind of a bad guy, so yeah, Makarov might have decided, no, you don't get your granddaddy's ultimate power, no way about that. And so the chapter ends. Another interesting detail, it's the very last sentence of the chapter, and it's blood red. Remember when I said in the last video that it might have some connection with blood? I didn't actually thought it would be possible, but as I said, even though the chapter is called Red Lightning, they don't actually say what red lightning is. So they say blood red, but maybe because it's passed through the family, and they say blood red is like in like a bloodline magic. That might be the way, I'm not sure. So it kind of stays in the clouds. It kind of gets to, until further noticing, until further use later in the series, it's something that is still open to debate. It's not due to Natsu's flames, as I have initially thought, which is good. It's good. It gives him a pretty badass red blood lightning. It's pretty cool. I like it. He's really badass. It's my favorite character, so I can't say anything else to sell him higher than he already is. And that's it. Sorry, my voice just cracked in here. And that's it. Chapter 473 is officially over. Next time we have chapter 474, In the Moment of Complete Silence. My guess is it's either the fight against Di Maria, Wendy and Shelia versus Di Maria, or Erza and Kaguya versus the mysterious Springen that it's in Argent as well. I'll say that due to the title, it might be against the mysterious Springen, and that his powers might have something to do with, or either stopping time or covering the world in silence, I don't know, muffling the whole world. So it's either that. I believe Hiro Mashima will keep the Argent sub-arc, let's call it like that. I believe that now, the next few chapters, the next, like, I say 5-6 chapters at most, we'll see the end of the Argent battle. Which means we now have left the battle against the minions that are in Argent, and the two major boss battles, which are Wendy and Shelia versus Di Maria, and Erza and Kaguya versus the mysterious Springen, which, as I said in the last video, some believe that it's Neihart. It probably is. I think it's the last Springen to appear, so it's either one of those, or maybe not. Maybe it's an aftermath of Laxus battle and the beginning of another battle. We'll have to see. We have a week ahead of us, so it's plenty of time for us to brew some theories in our crazy minds. And my friends, I hope you have enjoyed it. Tomorrow we will get, if the chapter releases, as of now the chapter has not yet released, we will get the 7 Deadly Sins weekly chapter. So I hope you stick around to watch it, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's gonna get out a little late, I am sorry, but as I said, my internship just started today, and I just got home an hour ago, and I just started recording this, so sorry about that, but I hope you stick around. Overall, just hope you have enjoyed it. Share your thoughts about the chapter in the comment section below, about the video and my overall performance. The comment section is yours to use and abuse, as I always say. And I said goodbye enough times, and this time is for good. Bye bye.